Good evening. My name is Kent Chandler. I'm the chairman of the Kentucky Public Service Commission. Welcome to this public meeting of the Public Service Commission. I'm accompanied by several members of the Public Service Commission staff. And at this time, I'll ask them to stand. Mr. Penny is also a member of the Public Service Commission staff, and he may be available later to answer your questions. Thank you all. We are here for the purpose of taking public comments on the application of Unity Towers and new Cingular Wireless doing business as AT&T Mobility to construct a 265-foot tall wireless communication tower in Wayne County at 152 Arley Piercy Road, Monticello, Kentucky. The case number is 2020-00404. This meeting is being held pursuant to KRS Chapter 278, 655. The purpose of the meeting is to hear from members of the public who wish to comment on the AT&T Mobility proposal. The Commission understands that this proposed tower has generated some interest. The Commission further recognizes that this can be an emotional issue. The Commission, we trust that everyone this evening will present their opinions in a respectful manner and respect the rights of others to be heard. Now let me explain how we will proceed this evening. Those of you wishing to speak should have indicated your intention to do so when you signed in this evening. If you have not signed in, please do so now. Based on the number of people who have indicated a desire to speak, we are going to allow 8 minutes per speaker so that everyone has an opportunity to be heard. I will let you know when you have 1 minute remaining and when your time is up. Those of you who do not wish to speak may submit comments in writing. Instructions on how to submit comments to the Commission are available from where you signed in. You may also find information on how to provide public comments on this case at the Public Service Commission's website, psc.ky.gov. This meeting is being recorded and will be posted to the Commission's website in the case record of this matter. A summary of the public comments will be prepared for the Public Service Commission and become part of the case record as well. All written comments will also be entered into the case record. Two important things to keep in mind before we begin. Because the Public Service Commission acts in a quasi-judicial capacity and the Commission must rule on AT&T Mobility's application, I cannot answer questions pertaining to the substance of this case. However, questions you raise during this meeting may well be of assistance to the PSC and the staff as we review the application. Further, PSC staff will be available after the public comments are concluded in order to answer any questions you may have regarding procedural matters in the case. The Public Service Commission can consider only comments on matters that are before it and that has the authority to review. The principal issue before the Public Service Commission is whether construction of the proposed tower is a matter of public convenience and necessity. The Commission has no authority over environmental matters or issues relating to radio wave emissions or whether they involve private or public lands. Therefore, I would encourage you to focus your comments on issues before the PSC. Comments on matters falling outside the Commission's authority cannot be considered by the Commission as it reaches its decision in this case. When you come up to speak, please state your name and address. Again, please keep your comments to the allotted time so that others may have an opportunity to address the Commission. So at this time, we've only had one person sign up to provide comments, and that is Tia Combs. Would you like to come forward?
Good evening. I'd like to thank the Commission for this opportunity to speak with you this evening. My name is Tia Combs, and I'm an attorney in Lexington, and I represent SBA Infrastructure, LLC, and my address is 2525 Harrodsburg Road, Suite 500, Lexington, Kentucky, 40504. And the reason that I'm here this evening is to make a comment, of course, on behalf of my client. And the reason that they would like for me to make such a comment is because SBA is the owner of a 300-foot tower that is a mere 283 feet from the newly proposed tower that Unity and AT&T are now proposing to build. AT&T is actually already a tenant on our tower and has been a tenant on our tower since 2006. Our tower is significantly taller than the proposed tower, and it's our belief that precisely the same service could be provided from our tower that might be provided from the newly proposed tower. SBA has already filed a significant amount of evidence and comment in the record, so I'll try not to reiterate that too much here. But I will say this. SBA attempted to intervene in this matter, and the PSC made it clear that the main concerns that you were interested in were rates and service. So we'll try to focus our comments on that here today. First, the service that can be provided. In their application, AT&T did not seem to elucidate much on service that could be provided or how the service would be improved from the newly proposed tower. They merely recited what was in the statute, stating that the service would be improved with a proposed tower, and that no reasonably available towers existed for AT&T to co-locate its equipment. SBA believed this was sort of an odd thing to say, as SBA has already a tower that's only 283 feet away, on which AT&T is already a tenant. And in addition, SBA went ahead and commissioned a radio frequency analysis, which has already been filed in the record, which shows that the radio frequencies that can be broadcast from this new tower are at least roughly, and honestly nearly identically the same, to what is already being broadcast today from SBA's tower. As a matter of logic, it's a little bit far-fetched for anyone to think that a tower that's only 283 feet away and is honestly shorter than the tower SBA has could really accomplish better service, as service is related to radio frequency, which is a physical matter. All this will accomplish is the building of a new tower and another unnecessary blight on the land here in Wayne County. In addition, I'll discuss with you rates. One thing that I haven't seen from AT&T is any promise to the citizens of Wayne County that the building of this tower will lower their rates for service. I do hope that perhaps after this meeting, AT&T can provide us with some information about that. And now we come to what seems to be a main focus of the conflict between SBA and AT&T in this matter. AT&T has stated repeatedly in their filings that the rent SBA is charging on their tower is simply too high. However, recently, SBA has filed a public comment to let the PSC know that we have offered to match the rate AT&T will be offered on the new Unity Tower minus $10. So, in SBA's opinion, rates should no longer be an issue, as rent rates we've offered to match those rent rates. And in addition, with regard to both service and rent, AT&T has not previously mentioned either of these issues to our local site marketing manager, who's the usual person that renters on our towers speak with concerning any problems that they're having with our towers. And even though they didn't do this, we still offer to match the rent, and we're still continue to be willing to match that rent if we could just discuss this with AT&T. And I'm sorry, I meant match the rent less $10. And so I'll just wrap up my comments with saying this. In this case, it seems that the issues that maybe do exist in other cases concerning service or concerning rates are simply not issues here. As such, AT&T's application seems to fail to meet the requirements set forth in the statutes and regulations, and a new tower would be simply a duplicative effort and not a matter of public convenience and necessity, which would be required for this body to grant AT&T's application. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Ms. Combs was the only person that we had that had previously indicated their interest in providing comment.
I've got a point of order. I want to speak, of course, 8 minutes. I could probably talk for 3 hours, but in the order I got, it says that engineers will answer questions, and the purpose is to provide improved coverage for this whole community. So if I speak 8 minutes and talk about what I want to talk about, why I oppose it, the location, will I still get to talk to the engineers at length?
So that's what I was gonna offer. So this is, the 8 minutes is just the limit to go on to the record. If you want to come, it may be easier to get your comments with the microphone, but the 8 minutes in the public, the comments that you're able to provide are merely the limit of, is merely limiting the amount of comments that are able to be placed in the record in front of us. It will not limit at all your ability to talk to the company about their proposed project. You'll be able to talk to AT&T until their ears fall off, if you'd like to.
That's what I want to know about.
So if I was just about to announce, if anybody else would like to provide a public comment, please come to the microphone and just indicate.
I'll make a brief comment.
Yeah, please.
Sure.
So before you provide your comment at the outset, again, it'll be 8 minutes, and if you'll just, at the outset of the comments, provide your name and your address. So please proceed.
Yes, my name is Nick Cooley. I'm a resident of Monticello, Kentucky. The cell tower, the existing cell tower that belongs to SBA is on property that I own. I do not get any revenue from it at this time, but when the contract with them expires, they will negotiate a new contract with me, so I have an economic interest in that they not be allowed to put the tower here. I am not objected in any way to AT&T or anyone else providing service, better service, to serve this community in any way whatsoever. I only want to address my concerns as to why that they insist that it be on this location adjoining to SBA, my property, rather than somewhere else. I look forward to asking engineers some of the questions in the future. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Cooley, it's C-O-O-L-E-Y?
Yes, C-O-O-L-E-Y.
And do you mind, I got the Monticello, do you mind to provide the address?
Where I live?
Yes, sir.
I didn't want anybody to know where I live. People could come and find me.
Okay.
Can I just say I live in Monticello? I live in a subdivision on the lake.
That'd be
Would that
fine.
be enough?
That'd be fine.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Mr.
Thank
Cooley.
you, sir.
So again, if there's anybody else that would like to provide a public comment, you may do so now by coming to the microphone and stating your name and address and providing comments for your 8-minute limitation. All right, seeing none, I'd like to thank all of you all for coming out this evening and sharing your views. I appreciate the respect and courtesy you've shown in doing so. PSC staff and AT&T mobility representatives are now available to meet informally to answer any questions that you may have. Thank you again, and have a good evening.